Hello, welcome to JoJo's Big Frankenbeans, Central Virginia's sci-fi and pop culture podcast. We're coming to you from the Comic Cave, and I am Big.
Frank.
And I'm Bean.
Awesome. What have you guys been up to lately? Like, what have you been checking out in the media, and what's going on in your life?
A whole lot of nothing again.
I hear this is a reoccurring theme here.
There's been a lot of that for the past, several months. Lots of video games.
Lots of video games. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of binge watching. If there was something to watch.
A lot of me time.
It's not a whole lot to watch. Yeah, a lot of me time.
Ben?
Bean.
Well, I've just been occupied with work, really. That's nothing exciting.
I feel you. Been the same. Just, doing a hard day's work, although I don't go into work anymore. Unlike you still have to. Besides that, the wife and I are trying to have a little one of our own. It's much more challenging than I thought.
You make it sound like it's work.
It's not really work. It's just that I didn't realize that there are like time zones and cycles, and when the moon is right, like you gotta do what you gotta do.
You didn't know the science behind it.
Exactly. So when you're in sex ed or whatever, they're like, don't touch up against a woman because you will get her pregnant. They scare you, and then when you get to when the time you want to have a kid, and it's not quite as easy. It might be for some people. It's a little more challenging for us. It's different. It's different. And then when you have two dogs that like to sleep in the bed with you, it makes it a lot more challenging. And don't go all weird on that, because I
you brought it up. Now I see the problem lies having difficulty having the kids.
No, we've got a we've got a like a I think they call it like a chewy bone or something like that. That we like.
What you
we
call
all
it?
need to hear about your chewy bone.
It's like so I'd take it like a grenade, right? And I like throw it in the living room, and I'm like, okay, we got about 10 minutes.
What is going on here?
Kick the dogs out.
I don't think that's how
away.
you use your chewy bone.
Definitely not.
Yeah. My dogs are great, but it's been fun. So we'll keep you updated if there's a little big little.
No thanks.
I'm not going to tell you any details, but I mean,
I think it would be little big.
Little big,
Mm-hmm.
a big little.
I've heard enough details. Thank you.
I don't know. I was 10 pounds 2 ounces when I was born, so it might be a big little me. I don't know. Whatever, however you want to look at it. So I guess enough about that. Let's move on to the podcast.
Well, we can get started with Superman and Lois, episode 2 now.
And
episode 2.
So, all right, I'll throw my opinion out there. I loved it for the fact that I felt like it was, the writers did a great job. It was like the first episode over again, intriguing wise. The first episode always grabs you, and this one grabbed me, and I wanted to see more. I did have a little bit of beef with some things in it, though.
What'd you have beef with?
So I think the biggest one, and this is how my mind works, is Lois quit, and she put a card down on her boss's desk, right? So
An envelope.
An envelope, I'm sorry, with a card in it. So I don't think it was her boss that grabbed it, but it was somebody else. So she opened the card, and when she opened it, it said, "I quit" on it.
Mm-hmm.
And my problem is, it said "I quit" in little letters like this. If I was going to quit my job and do that, I would have it in big ass bold letters, and the envelope might be like this big. I'd be like, here you go.
Wait a minute. So you didn't like episode 2 of Lois and Clark because of the font size of Lois's?
No. I started that I loved it. It was great. The writers did a great job. I just said that I had a couple beefs with it, and that was one
And her
that
font size is one of them.
that was one that like stuck in my head because I don't know. I just would have done it differently. Right. This is, podcast is about opinions. Opinions aren't following the norm. I probably would have quit my job differently. F you, I'm going home. Or
Especially since they changed her writing. She should have been like irate.
Exactly. And I would have put an exclamation point at the end of that.
At first,
quit.
I didn't see where you were going with that. But now I think I'm in agreement. Definitely. They changed what she said. So you got to be pissed. You got to.
I like my job, but if I didn't, I'd probably take it to a little more extreme measures because I wouldn't be going back. Now
Lois Lane's got to go back to the Daily Planet at some point. That has to happen.
I feel like they're going to try to reel her back because of what she's going to do outside of it. Like they're gonna want her stories because she's just that good.
They're going to have to tie the guy, what's his name, who bought the thing into... He's going to have to be a bad guy some way, and they'll have to boot him out of the Daily Planet, and that's how she'll go back. She won't go back to work for that guy.
Morgan Edge, right?
Yeah, Morgan Edge, yep. I don't think, anyway.
But I guess she does have her new reporting gig. She's
a one-man army?
The local paper.
The janitor, the editor. She does it all.
So what do you guys think about Lex Luthor in this one?
Different from the Lex that I've known in the past.
Yeah, he's like a soldier now. So
I found that interesting.
I wonder if he's still a genius.
Well, that's the thing. We haven't got any indication that he is a genius unless this super armor that he's wearing. Did he build that? Maybe.
Sounds like his AI built it.
Yeah, because she said it'll take a while for it to get built. So he wasn't doing it, I don't think. Mm-hmm. So maybe he created the thing he's talking to. But I thought that was the ship he was talking to, but apparently it's not because he was still talking to it after the ship went to explode. And then it was gone. Yeah, right. Yeah. Self-destruct. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I always like the fact that Lex Luthor is a super genius or whatever, and he fights Superman with his mind and not with his body. But this time around, he's a soldier. I thought that was interesting. I also thought it was interesting the tie-in to the general, that him and the general served together, and obviously in some alternate universe.
Yep.
Yeah, because they. So when I saw the fact that Lex mentioned that he's not like the Superman that he knows yet,
the Kal-El, yes,
the Kal-El, it made me think like, okay, is Superman going to go south at one point, or is there another Superman from another universe that might come into the picture? Because the multiverse everybody's kind of chatting about it right now because there's a lot of things going on.
It made me wonder that, especially when the father-in-law told Superman that telling the kids was going to rip the family apart. What if that other Superman who was fighting in the alternate universe, destroying Lex and all the other troops, what if he told the kids? Or what if he didn't tell the kids in that universe? And that's what...
Oh, good point.
Maybe the family got destroyed because he didn't tell them, and that's what made him go crazy.
Yeah,
and turn into a bad guy. But maybe telling the family did it. Who knows?
I guess we'll have to wait and watch and see.
Yeah. Maybe that's not it at all.
And we don't even know if the Superman of this other world really was bad or anything yet. It could be that it's just Lex's
perception of it,
right?
Yep.
His interpretation of it, or maybe he was super bad. We don't know.
Or maybe the general and his crew with Lex were the bad people, and that was a good Superman that was
attacking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? There's no way to tell.
It makes you wonder.
But it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
All the circumstances could have been different in that universe. Maybe Superman wasn't even from Earth then. He could have been from somewhere else there to destroy them. Like, maybe he hasn't lived there forever. Who knows?
Although we did get that glimpse of Superman hovering above everybody and just mowing them down with his heat vision. that didn't seem very Superman.
No.
No, but
not at all.
he might in that world he might not have lived on Earth forever.
Mm-hmm.
He could just be from somewhere else and look, I'm going to get rid of all these people because they're a threat. Who knows? Everything could have been different.
I do like
Could
the
be.
show. It's going to be interesting. No matter how they play it out, it's going to be interesting.
So it was a guessing game for me, right? And it just kind of it made me think like again, what's next? But what about this? What about that? And the other thing that I thought of is that so one of his sons, the one that has social disorder, I thought he was going to end up being the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this episode, his other son seemed jealous that he didn't have the powers and he was spending time with the brother.
He's spending time
Yeah.
with Jordan, and Jonathan's getting upset.
Me and Bean talked about that earlier. Bean.
And then I was like, okay, well, I kind of thought the kid with the social disorder was going to be the bad guy, but now I'm starting to think that
Might go the other way because he's sacrificed everything for the other kid, and he might start to be like, dude, screw you, buddy.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know,
And he might not have powers either. So
well, he's always coming out like the good brother, like the better brother, and I don't mean better as in more athletic, like, you know, he comes and he hugs his, you know, his brother and he whatever. But I don't know. I kind of saw the tables turned when he was like, well, you know, why does he get to fly with Dad? You know, why does he get this?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that too, and then they showed the previews for next week where Jordan is flipping out. It showed him like
Oh, I didn't see any
going crazy.
previews.
I didn't either.
What was going on with the previews?
It just showed him yelling and screaming and arguing with Clark. Yeah. So.
Well, at his age, he's lost a lot for them moving to Smallville, right? Because
he still thinks he's a weirdo, even though they moved somewhere where he shouldn't be as weird. But
I think no matter where you are, you're going to have challenges. Doesn't matter if you're in the big city in New York or, you know, little town of Smallville, but just be different challenges.
now the other kid has challenges too because nobody likes him on the football team.
Yeah, his brother will just laser vision him or whatever.
Just get rid of those other kids.
Mow down the football field the way evil Superman was mowing down soldiers.
Exactly.
All right, you're in. The only one left. Get in there.
Quarterback, you know, linebacker, you know, wide receiver, whatever.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, in other Superman news, we got the announcement that JJ Abrams is now working on a Superman movie. So
that should be cool.
That
Wow.
should be cool. There's some rumors out there that we might see the first African-American Superman. Michael B. Jordan has expressed his interest. Now that he's not attached to the project at this point, but who knows? It could happen.
So the only thing that I knew him from was the Black Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I was like, man, I know him from something else. I've seen him in something else. So last night, I'm trying to figure out something to watch on TV, and I'm going through Disney Plus, and I start playing Fantastic Four, the one from like 2015.
Right.
And he was
Yeah.
he was the Human Torch.
He was the
Oh,
Human
yeah.
Torch.
Didn't even like
Forgot about that.
yeah. And I don't know. I thought he did a pretty good job in a couple movies. I mean, I don't know if he'll do great in this. We'll see, I guess, or if he even gets the role. But totally forgot he was in that movie.
So did I.
Yeah, they really haven't made a good Fantastic Four movie yet.
That one wasn't too bad. The 2015 one.
I like the one before that better.
2005, I think it came out. Somewhere around there. Didn't have Captain America in it.
Yeah, he was the Human Torch.
He was the Human Torch.
Right. And then, what's his name? Michael Chiklis was the Thing. That wasn't too bad, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, mediocre.
Trying to remember what happened in the second one.
The second one, the sequel to that was the Silver Surfer.
Right. Wait, which one had Doomsday in it?
That was the 2015.
You mean
Or
Dr.
Doctor Doom, I mean.
2015 one, the one that I watched.
Okay.
Well, the first one had it as well.
Oh. I don't know. I felt like they were backwards because the one that I watched the other day was the relatively newer one, and it kind of showed how Doctor Doom was created.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's accurate with the comic books or not. I'm not 100% sure. If he was in the 2005 one or the earlier one, and he wasn't, and he was created later, I guess the movies didn't go in sequence with a timeline, right? Maybe they should have done the other one first to set up the stage for Doom if he was in the 2005 one.
It's been so long since I watched them, I don't know. Don't know about the timelines. I'm not sure if Ben has watched them recently.
No, not at all. It's definitely not one of my favorites, and no, I haven't watched those.
So the new show that Mikey told us about was Debris.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Yep.
pretty interesting.
That was a pretty good show. When did that come out? Was that Monday night?
I think it was Monday night.
Which is not a good night for shows, right?
Not usually.
Bad.
maybe that's a little telling. I don't know.
Maybe.
I was lost most of the time.
You were lost during that?
Yeah, trying to figure out who was who and piecing it all together, and it had its cool parts.
They kept you guessing.
Yeah,
But then at the end, you realized what was going on, right?
It
Yeah.
pulled it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they intended that. They wanted to keep you guessing about what was going on.
I was a little disappointed. Not really disappointed, but I was hoping it would stretch out longer. Like, this episode was pretty much wrapped up in an episode. You know what I mean? It was network TV. It was everything was resolved in this episode, and then I assume that next week
Will be the same.
it'll be the same thing. You'll get somebody else, some other little kid or whatever who's possessed or
Whatever the next thing is going to be, and oh look, there's 8 minutes left in the show. That means it's about ready to wrap up, and they're going to solve this, and that's the end of it.
right. Whereas
Yay!
on a streaming show, it
There's
goes
no telling what's going to happen from next point to next point.
Right.
So it's like an X-Files.
It very much felt like an X-Files
Yep.
or Fringe. Just, and those shows are good, and they've been proven to work.
You don't really have to have a continuing story to tell. You can have every episode not related to the last episode,
Right.
and you can make them for a long time until you run out of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'll watch the next one. I'll give it another shot.
Kind of like SVU, right? Criminal Intent or whatever. Gung gung. It's kind of something.
And that's
like
Law and Order, right?
Law and Order. Sorry, they're all
That's
about
all-
the same.
I only know that because of Resident Alien.
All right, I tried to tie those in there. It didn't work too well.
I haven't really watched any of those. Only Resident Alien. That's how I know that's Law and Order. Dun-dun.
Gung gung.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I can't get enough of that show.
It's great. What else do we have here?
Oh, we can get right into that episode 6 of Resident Alien.
Yeah.
Why don't we go right there?
Were we done with
Debris?
Debris?
Yeah, I didn't have too much about it. I mean, I'm going to watch the second episode, all right, just to see how it goes, because, maybe it ties into the first one. Maybe it is like a Law and Order or whatever.
Maybe it'll be a continuing. Maybe. I hope it changes a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not really in the mood to do a TV show like that. I kind of like the ones that leave me, on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, oh, come on, and then I'm like, all right, it's midnight. It comes out at midnight, and I'm staying up, although I got to work early in the morning. Like, oh, come on, just one more episode, give me my fix. So. Yeah, but the Resident Alien, it's actually on Hulu. So the last time we talked, I said it wasn't on like a paid program. Totally wrong. I found it on Hulu, so you can watch it live or the next day. I'm sorry.
I've been watching it on the Sci-Fi app.
Oh, I didn't even know they had an app.
Oh, they do for Apple TV. That's where I've been watching it.
Is that like a monthly subscription?
No,
or
it's free.
Oh, wow. Well, damn, why do I have Hulu? That's mainly all I watch on there.
So with Resident Alien, we finally got an explanation as to who those two people are who were hunting him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and
they were sent by Sarah Connor.
That's the only thing I could think about when I watched that. I was like, is that Sarah Connor? Is that Sarah Connor? Oh, my gosh.
Why does Sarah Connor have it in for Harry? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's something they didn't really tell us. I mean, there's no... so my thought is that... So they showed her as a child. She took the pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a piece that we're missing... maybe it's just something that she always wanted to see them, or maybe there's a piece that she took the pictures, they saw it, and they came and, maybe killed her dad.
I was thinking her dad probably got
else.
Abducted or
Exactly.
something.
And now she has a vendetta against them to figure out, like, hey, who are you? Why are you back? What are you doing? Why did you do this?
She knows they exist. She saw them. She had the picture, and that's why she didn't want to keep or let the military get involved. So, well, we'll see why she didn't want to let them know. Maybe she has a plan.
The ship cloaking was really cool, though.
That was
cool.
When the girl took the iPad or whatever and just like chucked it because she was mad at the dude, and it was like pow, it just shot off. And that's when it was like red light, and then he took the fire extinguisher and they brought it back. But Harry's caught now.
Everybody in town seems to be getting smarter. Like they're kind of like wising up. Big Black is starting to figure it out.
Oh,
he's
is
listening.
he though?
He's listening to the deputy, not his deputy.
Mm-hmm.
The deputy and
the brains of the operation.
It's funny because when they introduced her, you kind of expected her to be like really dumb. Although Big Black is really dumb, you kind of thought it was a dumb duo, right? It's like Dumb and Dumber. And then, as the episodes went on, she's really smart. Big Black is still just as dumb as the first episode. But I loved when he interrogated the kid in school for the drugs, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, tender or grinder, what's the difference? He was like, do I swipe right or swipe left on this one? And then he got back to the car and he was like, couldn't crack the kid.
Must work for the CIA. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, but he's almost completed, or he actually did complete the portion of the ship. And
he said he had something else to complete, though, the device.
Well, he had all the pieces, right?
He said he was missing one more piece to something.
Well, I think he got that, and that's why he went to his ship. Like, he had it in his truck, and he was done. And then that's why he went to the ship to put it in there, but he got caught.
Ah, okay.
I think he found that one, because he did say he was missing one more piece, but I think he actually found it.
So maybe that was the piece that he put together. Now he has to put that on the ship.
Yeah.
So is he ready to wipe out the population now?
Well, now that he's caught.
I kind of got the impression they might be wrapping up the season. I don't know how many episodes are in the season, but it felt like we hit a turning point this last time. Like there might be just a couple more to go. I hope not.
No, I want to see him get rigor mortis again. If you haven't watched it, you probably should. That'd make you laugh.
He might have to improve on the device because he said it's a poor design in the last episode.
That's right.
He's becoming more and more human, though. Well,
He is.
although I don't think it's human to drug your wife. I mean,
Man, he's using the wrong stuff to get rid of her. He needs to do it like permanently because she's very annoying.
well, he was. She looks like an elf. I thought she was
She
like
does.
she should be in the North Pole.
I said the same thing. That's funny that you say that. It's her ears. She has strange ears.
It was funny when he threw her in the bed, though, and he was like, he doesn't talk out loud. He was thinking to himself. He was like, continue to sleep or something like that. Or no, he was like, what did he say? Something about stay asleep or don't wake up, or saying like, if she died, you're off my case, right? I don't have to worry about you anymore. Like, this would be a blessing. But I think he has a little bit of a heart because he could just kill her, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because he wouldn't get
He doesn't
rigor
want to have to
mortis.
get rid of another body.
Probably.
He already has the issue with
His
like-
body in the freezer.
yes, yep, that he can't get rid of yet. So they didn't say anything about the debris that they found in the lake this last episode either. So they're going to tie that in at some point because I think the doorknob that they found came from.
Oh, I forgot about the doorknob. That's right.
I think the doorknob came from his cabin.
Ah.
So what do y'all think about the new doctor in town?
I think Harry doesn't like him very much.
Just about broke his arm.
Something's up with that guy, I think.
Yeah.
He seems
Too good.
yeah.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, there's something up with that guy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like when he came in and could speak several languages, and then he was like kind of hitting on Harry's wife. Kind of wife. I don't know. Wife from the before the alien, whatever. Yeah, I was like, man, this guy's just too good to be true. So maybe he's an alien.
Could be.
Maybe an alien hunter.
Yeah.
Mm.
He saves the planets instead of destroys them.
Yeah. So I hope they continue on with the season. Go several more episodes. What are we at? 8, 9?
I think this was 6.
Oh man, no, they can't. They got to get at least a few more in.
It could be 8 episodes.
Yeah. Because that's all that Wanda Vision was, right? They only did 8.
9
Oh, they
in
did
I
nine.
think
WandaVision.
it was 9.
Yeah, that was the last one. Final
watch
episode.
that? Jason?
I watched it. I'm still in awe of that. I mean,
In a good way?
yeah, in a good way, but still, Marvel does a great job of leaving me like, what's next? Like, what's happening next?
Well, I don't think there's anything happening next as far as the series is concerned, but it's leading into, or is supposed to lead into, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But that was kind of my question I had at the end of the episode too. I don't see how it leads in. So, they were promoting that all along it was a lead in, but how?
Maybe it
see.
just introduced the Scarlet Witch and she's going to be in the movie and that's their lead in.
So
Or is it Agatha Harkness? Is she the one?
The villain or something.
Right.
So
what about White Vision, right? So he had the conversation with the real Vision, kind of blew his mind hole with the whole ship scenario.
I like that.
Yeah, I loved it.
it was awesome. Yeah.
That was a great pull in,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's something that I'd heard about a long time ago, and I just kind of forgot about it. And
So you were familiar with this already?
Yeah, actually I was, but it wasn't. it wasn't a ship. It was something else that the paradox was in. And, it was years ago. I learned it in psychology. I have a degree in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned it in psychology, and I can't remember who it was. I mean, gosh, that was so long ago. I was, 18, 19 years ago. Anyways, but I still want to know, like, what happened to White Vision? He just dipped, right? Is he going to come to the multiverse?
Or is he in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool. But the one thing I couldn't figure out, and maybe I just missed a piece, so we're going to say the Red Vision. We're going to call him the Red Vision. So he touched the White Vision in the head, and I thought that he, like, transferred his memory and all of Vision to him. And that's when White Vision kind of became whole and was like, oh, what am I doing here? And was like, I got to go. And then that's when he left. I could be wrong. I don't know what y'all got out of it. That's what I thought.
Kind of how
what
I
happened.
felt.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought as well. He restored him, the White Vision, as the true Vision. Because
he said something about the Mind Stone being gone, so it couldn't be done or whatever, but he technically had the Mind Stone in him with his memories and stuff.
His memories.
Yeah, not really the Mind Stone, but it was, he, I guess, had all that programmed into him from the Mind Stone. So it was technically still with him, even though it was gone, I guess.
And I took it as, he can't leave the Hex, so he should make the other Vision the true Vision, if you will.
Right.
So they're definitely going to bring him into the multiverse. Because think about it. If they have him separate from Wanda and then Wanda sees him, it's going to bring a whole gamut of questions, issues, relationship things. I don't know. It's gonna help broaden, like, a storyline. So y'all probably are more familiar with the comics. Was White Vision in the House of M? Because that's kind of what it was based on, right? Or was White Vision even in the comics? Maybe I should start there.
I heard that, and I don't know, I haven't read this book at all, but I heard that White Vision was in the West Coast for Avengers.
I didn't know there was like an East Coast and a West Coast.
I'm not
like
familiar
Biggie
with
and
it.
Tupac.
But apparently there was a book that was West Coast Avengers, and they had a white Vision.
I think he would be tan with being over there.
Yeah, from
He stayed inside.
from California.
He never went out.
Maybe it was like way like West Coast, like up northwest coast.
Like he's in Seattle.
Yeah,
Right.
where it just rains all the time.
He wears flannels and listens to Pearl Jam.
Cuts down trees and likes craft beer. Maybe we might have just pissed off all those listeners too. On actually, no, they would probably follow us now. They'd be like, "Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are."
Yeah, it was sad to see Wanda Vision go. It
Just started to get really good.
Yeah, those last two episodes, those were worth the wait for everything we had to go through to get to those last two.
Yep. That last episode felt like a movie to me and not like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It was epic. It had epicness to it.
I'm digging Rambo too. What's her name? Teresa Rambo, I think.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica, I'm sorry. I think I didn't realize she had like real superpowers until one, the director, what an asshole, trying to shoot little kids. Like, let's just start there, right? So he comes up and the little kids are standing there and he just pulls out his I think he has like a Glock or something like that, and he just starts plucking off at two little boys. Superpowers or not, you don't shoot kids. Like, that's messed up. But I think Rambo has I think she has a future, because I mean at the end.
Well, I believe she's going to be Miss Marvel.
How do you? Because they're.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that is Monica Rambeau is Miss Marvel. I could be wrong there, but I think that's the case.
Huh.
So whether they're doing a TV show or a movie or what, but I definitely got the feeling that she's going to be in something else, and I think she's Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was kind of digging her for taking some bullets, you know. First, I was like, "Oh, she's dead. I don't care what power you have." And then what?
That
3,
was
4
way
bullets?
cool when they did that thing with the bullets. That was neat.
Yeah, and at first, you know, being two-dimensional, I thought the bullet that was coming up, like at her head, I thought it was going into her head, but then you know it goes past her and towards the kid. It was a good scene.
It was.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I think you can tell which from our list of like shows which ones were our favorite, right? Resident Alien,
Or at least which episodes. Anyway,
yeah. What episodes?
Because we weren't very happy with Wanda Vision a couple times ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it was slow.
Rough start.
Our buddy Ryan said that he almost cut it off and stopped watching.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just because he didn't want to watch a show like that. He didn't want to watch Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie or The Honeymooners or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it had, in my opinion, it had two problems. I mean, you had first, so you have so many episodes where it is just, you know, the sitcoms, and you're really not getting your Marvel fix, if you will.
Not giving enough info about that. Like, they just left it out mostly.
And then you didn't have the option of just watching all the episodes. You know, you had to wait week after week after week. And so to me it would have been better if they had released all the episodes together, and you know, if you wanted to just power through it and binge the whole thing, then you could have.
It'd make more sense.
It would have been better that way to do it.
They might have lost some viewers. Maybe not. I don't know. They might have lost some viewers that way. If they would have done it and you could just power through it, I think they would probably. It's kind of debatable because you had to wait so long. I mean, I almost didn't watch the next one. Well, I started on episode 2. But I almost didn't watch episode 3 because of that. You know, I was a little hesitant. So I was like, this is boring.
I mean, realistically, it was so short. I mean, 8 episodes? 9 episodes. And there were a few of them that were only like 30 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
The long ones were like 50 minutes.
Yeah, and they were towards the end.
And towards the end, right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if they would have released everything together, most people would have watched it in one sitting. I'm pretty sure.
I would have, definitely.
I'd watch any show that they release in one sitting.
Usually.
Most people probably don't watch quite as much as we do, though.
8 or 9 hours of TV at once. So.
Yeah. I don't, I'd rather binge it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Watch it at my leisure. So we ever gonna even do Flash? I know that was on the list, but are we ever gonna do Flash?
We certainly can.
Well, there's only one person that's seen it here, and I love the Flash. I always have. Besides everything that he has to do, or any way he has to beat a bad guy, was just to run. I think
it's his power. What else is he gonna do?
But I think they realized that after about, I don't know, 12 episodes, 15 episodes, that's all that he did, and then they ended up taking his powers away. Or it was probably more episodes than that. But
well, I don't know if I agree with that. You can go. I mean, when did the Flash start? Was it like? I mean, it had to be 50s or 60s. Mm-hmm. So. I mean, there's years and years and years of storylines with the Flash, and some fantastic ones. I mean, like the Flashpoint Paradox. I think that was like season 1, or I don't know. But there's plenty to choose from, and just because he solves everything with running fast, that's what he does. That's who
his
he is.
power. He doesn't have a choice. What the part I didn't like about it is he always had to have his little sidekick to tell him to run fast. Like, can't you figure this out for yourself?
Oh, you mean Cisco?
Yeah. That he always kid's like, wonder what we should do.
I know.
Run fast. And then the Flash is like, oh yeah.
Maybe I should run fast.
Maybe they should name him the Dolt instead of the Flash. I don't know. Just I mean, he needed. That's his power. He should know just to run. Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta say something though. I am so proud of us. Like
Why is that?
it just makes me smile because we have our first episode up on YouTube. Like I am watching the hits, the analytics behind it. I mean, we have been working on this for a while now, and a lot of people that are like, oh, we should do a podcast. It's not as easy as just like, oh yeah, you got a script and just read it. There's a lot of work involved. I mean, we're gonna watch the TV shows and read the comics anyway. But I'm so proud of it. 31 views. Probably half of those are my family members.
There's nothing wrong with that.
5 subscribers. So the episode 1 is out.
So 5 people are waiting for our next episode.
Yeah, it's going to be this one.
They're on the edge of their seat the way we were with Wanda Vision.
I don't know about the edge.
So we'll have to tell them they'll have to wait 4 or 5 episodes before it gets really good.
That's right.
So
I feel like
don't turn it off yet.
The good stuff is coming.
I feel like I should wave to my mom because she's probably the only one. She's watched
Hi,
it
Mom.
31 times.
Thank you, Mom.
31 views. Mama Big.
She has 5 different profiles that she subscribed on all of them.
That's my baby.
Every YouTube video says, hey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So we have to say that too.
Oh. Well,
I think I just did.
Yeah.
So
Good job.
we have to say like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, thumbs up, and leave a comment. I don't even care what the comment is. Actually, I don't care if you leave a comment. It doesn't really matter to me.
Are you going to respond to comments if people leave them?
I did, but the funny part is when somebody left a comment and it was somebody that I knew, I just texted them. I was like, hey, why'd you leave that crappy comment? I was like, come on now, be respectable. Like,
Awesome. Excellent.
I guess I should have responded on there so that they could respond back, and then there's some traffic. But
Then the whole world can read what y'all argued about.
yeah,
Excellent.
whatever.
Well, I guess we can get right into our questions and wrap this episode up.
Oh, we were supposed to have questions?
It's not on the rundown. What happened to the questions that are supposed to be on the rundown?
They weren't on the rundown last time.
That's why I didn't have a question last time either.
All right, I'll ask a question.
Okay.
All right, let's say
Now I got to come up with an answer.
that you do have to do that.
We are doing a podcast right now.
Go ahead.
So let's say you are a movie director and you're going to direct the very first Marvel DC crossover.
Ooh.
So what Marvel hero do you pit against what DC villain? And then the opposite. What DC hero do you pit against what Marvel villain?
Dude, this one is difficult.
Lord, there's a lot to think about.
I know.
here.
You should have given this to us ahead of time so I had some time to process.
Well, that's the idea here.
That's tough.
There's going to be a lot of dead time here.
Dead air.
Guys, go get a drink.
This is when all the views
Tune
fall
back
off.
in a minute.
What are we, like 50 minutes in? That's when all the viewers fall off. That's a really good question. It's really tough to answer. I thought you were going to give me an easy one, like what's my favorite chili dog
Like
or
your
something.
favorite
like
color, or like what's the best thing to put on a hamburger, something.
Hey, I got it. Flip the script. So what's yours?
Oh, that's okay. Let's see here.
He's had time to think about it.
Exactly, because it was his question. This gives us time to think about it, so don't stop.
I know, I'm thinking. I'm not even listening to what Bean says. Take your time, Ben.
If I was going to choose a DC villain, I think I would choose Lex Luthor. He's just, he's the ultimate. He's the super genius. He's probably my favorite villain in DC. So if I'm going to have a genius villain, what hero from Marvel do I put him against?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is tough. I might put him against Professor X. Professor X versus Lex Luthor. The battle of the minds.
See, I feel like Professor X would just like
Lex Luthor would have to come up with a way to stop that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
he'd need Magneto's helmet.
Yep. So he could do it because he's a freaking genius. So that would be a good duo right there. Good challenge.
And maybe if I was doing the reverse, if I had to choose a DC hero and a Marvel villain,
So I got one. I would do probably Superman. Well, wait a minute. Nope, never mind, because I didn't pick a bad guy. I just was going to pick Superman versus Thor, but neither one of those.
well, you can do it that way.
Superman's been a bad guy in some of the comics.
Sure he has.
Yeah.
There's Superman versus Batman, so you can do Superman versus Thor.
Exactly. So yeah, I think I would put Superman against Thor.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, Thor's a badass.
Thor is a
Freaking
bad.
god.
I mean, he's died a few times.
I mean, can Superman take Thor? I don't know.
My money's on Superman.
He is Superman.
He's got heat vision.
Yeah.
Thor's got to find kryptonite.
It's not on Asgard.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough question, and I need longer to think about that one. Maybe that'll be the intro for the next podcast.
Oh, you don't have an answer for us?
Man, it's so tough. Like, because each time I think of one, I'm like, okay, well, they have because I want a good matchup, right? Mm-hmm. So I want one that if, like you said, like Professor X can't, he can just manipulate somebody's mind or something. I want somebody that's going to be able to like battle it out for a long time. And that's what I struggle with. Every time I think of one, I think of, hey, every superhero has their weakness, right? And every villain has their weakness. And thinking through all of those and trying to match up the weakness and the strength against each other, I don't know.
Oh, here's a good matchup. We'll put the same person against basically the same person. Deathstroke versus Deadpool.
There you go.
Slade Wilson versus Wade Wilson.
Be like a 50-50 shot in that fight. Either way, you just flip a coin.
That's how it should start. Just having like, hello darkness, my old friend, and then it's just a coin flipping through the air, and then as soon as it hits, pow! That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Well, cool. Well,
I didn't come up with any other one. I was trying to think, but
That's all right.
yeah, maybe we start the next podcast that way.
So did you have a question, Big?
No, drawing a blank. I was thinking of one on the drive here, and then somebody cut me off, and then all I could think about was just how pissed
why
off
did he cut me off?
How pissed off I was at this yellow Cavalier. And then it threw off my train of thought like the whole drive here. I was not in a good mood.
Maybe the Yellow Cavalier is one of our 31 watchers.
Could be.
Well, unlike and unsubscribe now, Yellow Cavalier. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Do we have anything else?
I think that's about it.
Yep. Wrap up. Well, thank you all for joining us. Looking forward. I hope y'all are looking forward, because I'm looking forward to episode 3. And y'all have a good night.